Welcome to series of database management system video lectures. Today we will be discussing about Unit 5, Topic 2, that is basic SQL queries and nested SQL queries and SQL operators. We start with SQL operators. We have various types of operators as part of SQL. So the first one is SQL arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical operators, set operators, bitwise operators, and unary operators. Let us get deep dive into each and every type of operators with an example. Right. Let me create a table. I'm creating employee table here. Before that, let me verify. Yeah, I have EMP table. Let us name which I wanted to display to the user. Select salary plus I wanted to add even this bonus value also. And both the things together have to be added and displayed as a single column of values from table name, that is EMP1. Okay. So now we wanted to perform addition operation upon these two columns of values, and it should be reflected it as a column name EMP underscore cell. That is alias name that we have created just now. Alias is the thing that we use for defining a new name for the column. This is just for the viewing purpose only, right? Addition we have done similarly. We can even do subtraction as well. Subtraction generally cannot be performed with bonus, but then for penalty. Okay, so just for the showing purpose, I'm doing this. So this is what the subtraction that we have removed the value of bonus from the existing salary, right? So the next one is multiplication. Now multiplication of data can be displayed even in this manner. Select bonus. I want to display this bonus as festival bonus. Festival bonus. And this should be given as twice the data. Okay, so select bonus. I wanted to twice this festival bonus from table name, that is EMP1, right? So what we have done, we have aliased the column name as festival bonus, wherein I wanted to get the bonus value to be multiplied by 2. So earlier the bonus value for record 1 was 500. So it was twice. Similarly, for the next record, 545, 489, it has been changed, multiplied by 2, we got 978. And for the third record also, 200, twice 2 it gives 4, right? This is multiplication. Now I wanted to do division operation. So the existing value of bonus, I wanted to divide it by 2. And it should be taken as not bonus, but then instead, due to some floods, the management is not paying the whole amount, but instead half of the amount. So flood value. Okay, so let us divide it. So the existing value for the bonus was 500. So divided by 2, we got this one. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and we are left with a modulus operation. So let me apply modulus operation for the bonus itself. I want to do with 2. Okay, so modulus of 2 for 500. What is the remaining value? When you divide it by 2, we left with a 0 as remainder. So we got 0. Similarly, for the next one, we left with a 1 remainder. That is what has been written. So with this, arithmetic operations are completed. Moving on to the next one, that is comparison operators. Now here we have equal operator, not equal, greater than or equal to operator, less than or equal to operator. Let us apply the same thing. So now let us retrieve the records of the employee. One. These are the records. Okay. Now let me write a query. Select. I wanted to display only those names from MP1 where the salary value, whose salaries are greater than 30,000. Okay, I wanted to fetch only those set of employee names. So look at the salary figures here. We have about 32 records. So that's the reason we got only the names. As I mentioned in the query that only name have to be retrieved, right? Similarly, greater than or equal to. Okay, including the third record, it will display because we kept the constraint to be equal to that value. Lesser than 30. I don't have any records with less than 30. Let me go with the 34,000. So we'll be getting only one record. Now, lesser than or equal to. Okay, so we'll include even the last record as well. And then exactly equal to 34. Then I will get 1. Not equal to 34. That means I don't want it to fetch that records who are belonging to 34. Right? Apart from that 34, what are the records that we have? 56 and 30. What are their names? Arun and Isha. So those are retrieved. Okay, so this is about comparison operators. Moving on to the next one, that is the third type of SQL operators is logical operators. Now here we start with the AND operator first. Now let us display the content of EMP1. Right, we have 3 records. Let us perform few more records. Oh, it's fine. So let us write a query to retrieve all the records. EMP1. Right, so these are the records that we have. Now let us apply this. Yeah, let us apply AND operator, logical AND operator. Select all the records from EMP1 where I wanted to retrieve only those records whose salary lies between 10 to 20,000. Okay, where salary is greater than 10,000. Here we use AND operator, and salary is lesser than 20,000. Okay, so which means that I wanted to retrieve the range of records which falls into the category of 10,000 to 20,000. So here we have only one that record which has this values. Okay, or the next operator is or. So now I wanted to check whether any one of the condition, if any one of the condition is evaluated to true, I want to fetch that records. So greater than 10,000 and lesser than 20,000. So greater than 10, we will get all these records, or lesser than 20. Any one of the condition can be satisfied, and that's how we could get all the records which are matching to the first condition. Okay. Now next is between. Between 20,000 and 30. So now between is an operator which is going to retrieve or fetch only those records which matches to the criteria. In between 20 and 30,000, whose salaries are lying, only that records are fetched. So here we have Usha, whose records matches to this criteria. Okay. The next operator is and or between is done. Next is in. Now let me retrieve the records where employee ID. I wanted to retrieve only those records from the employee. In, I wanted to get from 3, 6, and the next one is 1. Select the records from the employee table where EID, employee ID, I'm considering employee ID to be retrieved. So, in operator will take only predefined set of values. I wanted to retrieve the records which are taken into this in values. Record number, employee ID matches to 3, matches to 6, and then matches to 1. I wanted to fetch only those records. Now, the next operator here is not operator. So, I don't want to get the records from 3, 6, and 1. So, you can write it as not in. Excluding this, I want to fetch the records. So, 1 next to that 2. 2 is not part of it. 3 is part here. 4 is not there. 4 is retrieved. 5 is not there. 5 is retrieved. 6 is here. So, not from the given list, the other records I wanted to retrieve. Next is in not in is done, like operator. Now, I wanted to retrieve all those records where employee need. Generally, the like operator can be taken for varchar data, right? So, employee need starts with A. Okay. So, I need to give a single quotation where you are specifying the pattern matching here. Yeah. Where employee name ends with A, begins with A should be given like this. Where my name like. Like is an operator which is used for pattern matching to retrieve all the records whose name starts with A. Okay. Now, only one record which is matching to our table where it starts with A. Now, I want to change this ends with A. Now, these are the two records from the given set of records which matches to ends with A. Now, I want the records to be fetched, which may begin with any character, end with any character, but should contain a character A. Right? So, these are the records which contains the employee names, at least one character of A. Okay, so this is about like operator. Now we are left with all and any. Now, moving on to the next set of logical operators, we need to deal with for any in, right? So in this, we need to write the nested query. So far, we have learned how to write a simple queries, basic SQL queries that we have done. And the next level is nothing but nested queries. So here we write a query within another query. So now here, let us take the syntax of the nested query. Select column 1, column 2, whatever may be the column that we are interested to. We can select that particular column from table 1 and where the condition, this condition is going to be filtered based upon the subquery which is written. So I wanted to filter the set of records from within the generated set of records. So that's the reason after where column 1, from this particular set of items, I need to fetch the records which are written in the subquery. That is select column 1 from table 2 where condition. So the inner loop, the inner query is going to be first retrieving the records and based upon that, the outer query is going to be performed. And the outer query is first selecting the records. Based upon that, the inner query is going to filter the values. So this is how a nested query is going to be constructed, and we will be able to design a complex queries by making use of these nested queries, which are going to use more number of operators within a single query. So moving on to the next one, we have types of queries, types of nested queries. The first one is independent query and then correlated query. In independent query, we will be fetching the inner subquery records, and based upon that, the outer query is going to be evaluated or it is going to be executed. Till the inner query or the subquery is not completed, the outer query will not be executed. The next one is correlated. So in this correlated queries, the outer query is going to be evaluated for one particular record, and then the inner query is going to be executed based upon the set of records it filters, and this is going to be given as the result set to the outer query, which in turn selects the records. So this step is going to be repeated for the next subsequent records. So this is how a correlated query is going to evaluate for multiple number of records for multiple number of times based upon the inner query. So while writing inner queries, while writing correlated queries, we should make sure that the query is written properly, otherwise it will enter into an indefinite loop. Now let us look at the example of going with the nested queries. Now the first one is the outer query. The part which we have mentioned here is the outer query, and from the parenthesis till the end of the parenthesis, this is called as inner query. Now I wanted to retrieve the employee names from the employee table, where I wanted to select from the department ID, and this department ID should be matched with the subquery evaluation. So in the subquery, again we are trying to retrieve the records, selecting department ID from department's table where department equals sales. So I wanted to filter only the sales department IDs. From there, I wanted to retrieve only the employee names matching to that department ID. So this query is called as independent query. First, this inner query is going to be executed and the result is sent, and the outer query will fetch only those set of records, right? So what are the logical operators that we have discussed so far can be applicable for this nested queries? In place of in the previous example, we have taken in for selecting the department employee IDs, right? Similarly, here you can use in, any, all, right? So based on our requirements, we can put whether it should be an inner query or the outer query, what we are going to look at. So let us practically do this. Now let us apply this logical operator, that is all, by making use of inner or nested queries. Now I wanted to retrieve employee ID, employee name from the employee table, where the salary should be greater than all the employees who belong to Jaipur city. Okay, so let us use this in our example. Now I have updated my table here. Earlier our table was without a city. Now I have created employee city column and updated all the values. Okay. Now here I wanted to retrieve only employee ID and names from this EMP1 table compared to the employees whose salary, compared to the employees who are belonging to Jaipur. Okay. So here I have Jaipur only one record. Let me insert one more record. Yeah. Let me take the sixth one as Jaipur only. I'm updating that. Fine. Let me retrieve. Yeah. So we have the records with employee city, Jaipur as 2. Now, by looking at these two records, I have salary of 30,000 and 8,000. Comparing these two, I wanted to fetch the employee ID and then in here. One, where city, I gave it as just a EMP city. City equals Jaipur. Okay. I'm sorry. Right. So, we are retrieving, look at the outer query, selecting employee ID and name. Only these two I want. But then which data items have to be selected is decided by the inner query or the subquery. Select a salary. So selecting salaries from the employee table, where Jaipur. So Jaipur we have 30,000 and then 8,000. So greater than these two records. So select a record whose salary is greater than 30. Greater than 30, first record is matching. Fine, you got 1 and above. Greater than 30, second record is also matching. That's why you got Banu and sales. And then 30 greater than we cannot consider. And the third one, next record is 89,000, which is also greater than. And the next one is Kolkata is greater than, yeah. Now greater than the salaries of the Jaipur. Okay. So now next is Iran. Compared to these two, I wanted to retrieve the records whose salaries are greater than the employees from Jaipur. Okay. So look at the next one. That is Mumbai and then Kolkata. Mumbai have 89,000 and Kolkata has 18,000. But then Jaipur values, we are considering Jaipur values only. About 30 only have to be recorded, have to be retrieved. Okay. So here 89 will also fall into our category, 56 and 34. So that's the reason we could able to retrieve only 3 records of data. Okay. So this is for all operators. Similarly, you can go with the next logical operator. Set of operators are set operators. It has taken from the set theory, like we deal with a set of elements, we perform union of elements, intersection of elements, and then deduction of the elements. So let us apply the same thing with an example. Let us use the same table. Select star from EMP1. Now to deal with this SQL set operators, we need to consider more than one table. So let me create another table. Create table EMP2. And this table I wanted to create from the set of records of EMP1. So select star from EMP1. So now both the tables have the same set of records. Okay. Now let us remove few records from both the things. So now let me delete from table that is EMP1 where EID equals 6. Okay. Let me delete one record from table 1 and the next one is 5. Okay. 2 records I have deleted from table 1 and let me delete one record 1 from EMP2. Okay. Similarly, EMP2. Now let me display the content of both the tables. This is EMP1 will have 1, 2, 3, 4. EMP2 will have 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, these set operators works with only equal number of fields, that is columns, and the records can be differing or sometimes common or sometimes different. Okay, let me apply the first operator, that is union. Okay, select start from table name, that is EMP1 union EMP2. So select start from EMP1 union, select. So let us continue. Select start from EMP2. Okay, so now we are going to merge the contents of both the tables. So as we could see here, EMP1 contains 1, 2, 3, 4 records. EMP2 contains 3, 4, 5 records. So that means 3, 4 is repeated in both the tables. That's how union will remove that duplicate entries, but merges both the contents of the table. Okay. Now, the next operator is union all. Union all operator repeats the same duplicate records. It just first brings the set of records from table 1 and the leftover set of records from table 2. So here we find the duplicate entries here. The next operator is intersect. So now intersect operator will just fetch only the common records from both the tables. So 3 and 4 ID records are common in both the tables. So that's how it has retrieved only that. The next minus. It will remove the records which are. The next type of operator is unary operator. As we already know that dealing with an operator, we have 3 different types of operators. The first one is unary operator, which acts upon single operand. Second type is binary operators that we have dealt so far, which acts upon 2 operands. The third one is ternary operator. Ternary operator is not being supported in SQL. So let us go with unary positive operator. So now let us get the content from employee table. This is our EMP1 content. So let us apply. I wanted to take a negative, that is unary negative, which is acting upon salary column from EMP1. So now what all the figures that we have for salary is going to be added with a negative sign. That is what unary negative operation is. Positive operation is getting a positive sign upon the set of data values, which was earlier with a positive. So we don't find that change for this. And the next one is bitwise not operator. So that is a complementary operator that we need to use. Bitwise not operator will give you bitwise not operation which is being performed upon the salary figure, right? That particular number gets converted into bits, binary digits. So that is what the result we got. So this is for SQL unary operators. Yeah. The next is bitwise operators. Let me create a new table. Table that is for sample. Okay. Here I want a column 1, which is of type int, column 2, which is also of type int. Okay. I have created insert into sample values. Now here I wanted to add 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Let me create this table, right? The records have been inserted. So let's start. That is sample. Okay. So this is the data that we have. Let me apply. Select C1 and bitwise and operation upon data member C2 from sample. So now it has performed AND operation upon the values of C1 first record element and C2's first record element. 1 AND operation of 1 will give you 1, right? Performing bitwise operations and operation upon these data elements. Now let us apply OR operation upon this. Yeah. OR operation. So we'll get the values. Okay. This is for bitwise and then OR. So SQL unary operators are completed, and finally we have SQL operator precedence. Now when we write an SQL query with a combination of various types of operators, which one should be given high priority is going to be decided by this operator precedence. So first we give unary operators, and then exponentiation operators, and then identity and negation operator, multiplication operator, division, and then addition, subtraction, and then string concatenation, next comparison, next logical negation, conjunction, and then inclusion operator. So this is the hierarchy which has to be followed for evaluating our SQL queries written with a combination of more than one operator. So with this we have completed types of operators from the SQL.